Shabbat Shalom, family, and welcome to a new edition of Hebrew Tribes Channel. It's your G Militia coming at you live. First off and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High King, Ahaya Ashar Ahaya. That's the I am that I am of Exodus 3 and 14. In the name of Yeshaya, Hosanna, Matthew 21 and 9. Through the Holy Spirit could come a wide wisdom, which is Proverbs 8 and 9 and 1. What is good with you, my family? We on a new one here. This is the devil in the details, falsehood exposed. Okay, because you've probably heard the saying that there's the devil in the details, but actually it was by this German American, I believe he was an architect, and it was actually a misattribution or a misquoted phrase. The phrase is actually that the Most High is in the details, not the devil. But some people's Most High to them is the devil. And this isn't going to be a lesson focusing on the adversary or the evil one. This is a lesson exposing the adversary and the evil one. Okay? So with that being said, let's jump right into it. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. Study to shew thyself approved unto Ahia, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. I'm gonna let y'all know real quick, this video is gonna trigger some people and it's gonna make a lot of people mad, but you know what? It is what it is. Okay, this isn't about scratching your belly, rubbing your back, holding your hand, trying to make you feel good. This is a video to warn you. Okay, warn you about what's coming, warn you about what's going down. Because you're not going to hear it on mainstream. You're not going to hear from these religious leaders. You're not going to hear it. They're paid not to tell you what I'm about to tell you. And number two is, yes, faith is important. Yes, having hope is important, and things that, once we put the work in, though, faith without works is dead. And one of those works is studying, family. It never just said only have faith. Even in James, it says faith and works. And here it says the study. So all this, I believe. Okay, cool. What do you believe? Because the Bible isn't made for a private interpretation. We're going to get more into that as we go on. And we're going to show how the word contradicts with the world and even contradicts with religion. So yeah, this is going to be a trigger video for some people, but hey, so be it. Never stopped me before. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 5, 2 through 5. Follow not thine own mind and strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. Wait a second, militia. Wait a second. Doesn't people always tell you follow your heart? Follow your heart. Trust your heart. I don't know about y'all. How many times has your heart got you messed up in this world, though? Times you've been following your heart only to realize, like, you knew you should have followed your mind. I told a brother once, and brother got mad at me, wanted to beef with me and everything. One of my homeboys' partners, and kind of felt bad in a way because it was like one of his business connects, but nobody asked him to come hop on my post, and I was respectful, of course, the whole time. But, basically the post said that the brain is better than the heart. They can give you a heart transplant. They can't give you a brain transplant. And if your brain ever tells your heart to stop beating, guess what? You're done. You dig what I'm saying, family? But this world tells you to follow the ways of your heart. So why is the world so wicked? Let's keep it moving. Verse 3. And say not, who shall control me from my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. For these people, when you tell them, hey, you're violating the law, you're sitting here, you're eating unclean, you're eating unhealthy. Well, my forefathers, our foremothers ate all this, and yes, out of ignorance. They didn't have a choice. It was a curse for those slaves to eat the pig. It was a curse because they didn't have anything else to eat. You have a choice. You got all types of meat that you can eat. Do you dig what I'm saying, Israel? Or this whole, we can move past that. This whole culture of promoting harlotry and OnlyFans. Oh, women have always prostituted. Okay, but does that make it right? Does that make it right? Oh, brothers been slanging and doing this, but does that make it right, family? Saying, who shall control me from my works? The Most High will. He gonna revenge. That's prideful. Even when I was in the world, even when I didn't know one Hebrew word, I probably couldn't quote more than 2 passages to you that I heard in church. Even back then, if you would have came up on me and would have been speaking the word, because there's brothers that did, and even some, some of their stuff was in error, of course, as I got older and seen. But I respected them because they're just trying to tell me to do the right thing the best way that they can. But a lot of people, they don't have respect for the Most High's word. They got respect for tradition. They got respect for their pastors. They got respect for their elders. And I'm talking about brothers and sisters that are going astray from the word because they have a congregation, or they speak nice, or they look nice. And I'm here to tell you, damn that, man. We're not going to be judged on how much we respected people in the earth. That's why it says when you honor man, you break the entire law. Because if that man tells you to do something, you'll do it. You no longer have a mind of your own. And yes, the Most High is going to hold you accountable. This is why the real gospel got to hit the 4 corners. This is why you got to study. I tell people to check me. I don't get mad. People are like, hey man, I had to check what you said, man. I ain't really understand what you, man, I got to my homeboys. I ain't talking about strangers and talking about friends, people I fellowship with. I don't get mad. Please do. I check what y'all say too. When y'all post something, man, I ain't never really read that. Let me go back and read that. It's like knowledge is hated in this earth. But it says, concerning propitiation, be not with fear to add sin unto sin. And this is kind of that saying where, oh, well, yeah, they say being gay is an abomination, but so is eating shrimp. Well, yeah, they both are. But see, you got to understand there's levels of wrong. The Most High didn't destroy 4 cities due to them eating unclean, though. Not that it ain't still wrong. But why are we going to compare sin unto sin? It's like people, oh, nobody can be perfect. No, well, the Most High asked us to be. Christ asked us to be. Yasha, they asked us to be. But most people don't even know what biblical perfection means. It means coming into your whole. That's WHOLE, coming into being a whole, fulfilled person in the Most High's will. When you think about where you want to be in the best situation that you could imagine yourself to be in, with the wife or the husband, the kids, the house, everything, like, those are worldly things, but the Most High can, like it says in Matthew 6:33, you seek the kingdom first, all those things will be added unto you. But we want to skirt around and move around his word to do it our own way, and that it ain't working. As we can see, it ain't working. And comparing sin unto sin, that's like, well, we talk about food, people will say, well, all food is unclean and this and that. We don't know how it's made. And that's true. The water is defiled, the air is defiled, the earth is defiled, all of that. That's Ezekiel, I believe, 2 and 4. So yeah, that is true. But just because it's unclean doesn't mean that, I should just start eating lizards, to start eating roaches, a roach sandwich. Do you dig what I'm saying, Israel? That's like, when Yasha says, for a man to even look upon a woman with lust, it's the same as he committed adultery, and it's because he did it in his heart. So that's people watching these flicks, OnlyFans, all these things that are put out as normal. That means brothers, especially married brothers, are committing that adultery every day. So does that mean they might as well go out and just commit adultery? Isn't one worse than the other? And isn't there a truth we should be following? We're going to find out. Let's go to Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? This is what the Most High says. It's deceitful. My aunt told me a phrase I'll never forget, that the The road paved to hell, because we only know in part, see in part. That's why we supposed to do what? Study. Like, studying is like a bad thing to some people, man. It's wild. Let's go to 1 John 4 and 6. We are of Alahayim. He that knoweth Ahalahayim, are the Most High, our God, heareth us. Read that again. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High, heareth us. He that is not of Ahiah, heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. When you really seeking the Most High and dealing with the Most High, you are able to separate the clean from the unclean, the right from the wrong. Yes, there's grace, but there's no gray area. That's called lukewarm. There's no gray area. You're either right or you're wrong. You're hot or you're cold. Anything else is just anything else is wrong. Anything else is wrong. And then you know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Because all this always relative and my truth and opinion, and they may see it this way. Nah, man, it's a right and it's a wrong, man. Period. And how do we know what the right and the wrong is? By rightfully dividing the word of truth, which is the scriptures. That's why he had the prophets write these things. That's why he had Yasha come and quote those same prophets. The prophets he's quoting, you got people saying that we don't, that part's done away. How, Sway? If the Messiah came quoting them, how's it done away? And he never said, and he actually said the opposite. He said, I'm coming not to do away with them. But we got some scripture for that too. So again, the people of the world can't discern the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. And when you discern the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, oh, you're judging. Oh, you're this, you're that. People make judgments every day. If you seen me, like I worked in this warehouse once. It was a really, really big warehouse. They had a dry, it had a cooler and a freezer, but I'm talking about really big. So they had so many people. They had people that would work in the freezer all day, the cooler all day, and the dry all day. Well, now, if you work in the cooler, you could probably wear a jacket or something, a hoodie, you'd be all right. But if you work in that freezer and you work there all day, you're gonna need a freezer suit. And a freezer suit looks like I know it's not a really good term to use, but Eskimo. You're all covered up, and guys will come there in like ski masks. They will come because that's how it gets really cold. I mean, you're in 0 to 10 degrees all day. So guys will come to work in the ski mask. Now, I didn't know this when I first, came there, but I had a thought once, and I was like, because they hired temps a lot of times, in some of the years I worked there. And if you're a temp, especially like let's say it's a woman, she's a temp, and she pulls up to go to this, to this place, and it's a 24-hour facility I worked at. So she pulls up and she sees a guy walking out in all black with a ski mask coming toward her. And now she has no idea about the cooler or freezer. She wasn't hip to any of that information. What do you think her reaction would be when she's seen that? You think she wouldn't judge that situation as, whoa, hold on, what's going on? And get on guard? She's judging the situation. Yeah, she's judging the situation. Let's say you and your significant other want to go out for a date night and you have young children, right? And you have a friend or a cousin that says, hey, man, I know this good, because let's say your babysitter, your normal one is out of town or sick or, can't make it. And he's like, hey, or she's like, hey, I got this babysitting service that I use and, I used before a long time ago, and, they may be able to help you out. And they're like, hey, I'm just going to send somebody, y'all go ahead and go out. I'm going to send somebody over there to watch your kids, and it'll be all good. It'll be all good. You never met this person. You haven't vetted the site. You're going to say, okay, yeah, go ahead and just send somebody over. Yeah, just make sure they're here before we leave at 8. Are you going to be like, you know what, send me the website. Let me check them out. They might be legit, but let me see. You're making a judgment right there. Ladies, when a brother comes and asks you for your phone number, ooh, dang, baby, look. Good. What's up? What's up with you? Hey, what you got going on? Let me holler at you later. Let me get your number. Go ahead and call yourself. Hands you his cell phone. And this dude looked like the penguin off of Batman. And he stank. Now, you don't know how much this dude might have just, he might own his own string of plumbing company or something, at work all day. But you're going to judge him right there like, you feel what I'm saying? We make judgments all the time. All the time. But the most important judgment is the judgment between what is right and what is wrong. Let's get to it. John 4:24. God or Ahaya is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. There's a way that the Most High wants to be worshiped. And we're going to get more into that in this lesson. And the way that he wants to be worshiped has nothing to do with the tradition of men. Yasha preached against it. The prophets preached against this. Moses preached against this. Noah preached against this. These doctrines of men, these traditions of men that the world clings to. The Most High does not want to be worshiped that way. Going back to the date thing, if you meet somebody and they're like, hey, these are things that I expect in a relationship, and y'all in the courting phase and this and that, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna do you how I want to do you. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna be a relationship, but hey, if I want to go out and stay out all night and not call you for a week, that's what I'll do. There's a way that person wants to be loved and respected in a relationship. So how much more the Most High? How much more? The one that controls heaven and earth. So let's get into it, man. Sirach 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. This is what that old lesson was about. You got to let them people do what they do, man. It ain't your job once you plant that seed and you warn them. It ain't your job to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Let me read that again. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, not educated opinion, not research, not studying, not looking into the word of the Most High. Their vain opinion and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. I can't tell you how many people I've shown I'm just following the word when I came into this walk, have family thinking I don't know what they was thinking, but they was thinking I was completely out of there, completely off, and this and that, which is understandable. It was new to them. I'm not even knocking them. But once I sat down with them, went to their house face to face, not online, not on over the phone or FaceTime, but went to their house face to face, chopped it up with them, let them know how I was doing, and asked how they were doing. And then we sat down and I'm reading chapter and verse and showing them, yeah, this is what I follow. Oh, okay. I can't even argue with that. I can't argue with that. But in their mind, their evil suspicion has overthrown their righteous judgment because they don't value the word of the Most High. That's what it comes down to. They don't value it. And Yasha said, don't cast your pearls before swine. Hopefully, they'll come up out of that. But somebody got to be the swine. He wouldn't have made that comparison if everybody's going to be good and going to have grace. That's another lie that's being told. But we're going to get right into it. We're going to get into some of these details that we've been lied about. So we see we got to study to show ourselves approved. We see we got to have a heart for the Most High, trusting the Most High with our heart, right? And then what? We got to deal with the truth, worship him in spirit and in truth. So knowing that this world is deceived, as it says in Revelation 12:9, by the fallen one, let's look into it. How is the world deceived? Okay? Because the devil is not in the details. The Most High is in the details. The truth is in the details. Okay? The Most High is synonymous with the truth. Section 1, the two fingers gods and the fallen one. Okay, now you see this pic here. This is Baphomet. Okay, this is actually a statue too that they have. I believe they released it in Detroit. It says a controversial statue unveiled by the Satanic Temple at a secret ceremony in Detroit has attracted protests. But who is the goat-headed figure, and what do the elements of the statue symbolize? So we're going to get into some of those elements of this statue and take some notes, family. Take some notes, screenshots, whatever. You're welcome to my comment section and to my page, man. Holler at me about it. This is the fellowship. It's gonna be a righteous one. dig what I'm saying? So you see the Baphomet statue with the two fingers. We're talking about the two fingers and the fallen one. And there's actually more than one fallen one, as we know, as it states that when he fell, he took a third of the angels with him, speaking of the adversary, who we're going to be exposing through this entire 12-part series, okay? So going right here, you see right here in this picture, I want you to focus on the fingers, the two fingers, and the moon symbolism, okay? So this is why when I went over the last documentary, The War on Women, the feminism, if you notice in the goddess section, the women goddess or the female goddess was always attributed to the moon. Even the woman's cycle is every 28 days, give or take. You know, the moon cycle can't be actually calculated with the actual full Hebrew year, but you have a lot of people that deal with the moon in error, as it says in Jubilee 6. That's why they've even added a 13th month for those that follow that calendar, the lunar calendar, okay? And you see the guy here, Harry Rosenthal, who is a J-Wish person. Yes, he actually got killed shortly after this interview, I believe in 1976, where he says that the J-Wish people are the their god is Lucifer. And even in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, what does it say, family? Do you dig what the word is saying? Not even what I'm saying. Do you dig what the word is saying? So let's keep it moving. Y'all put a pin in that. So we got the two fingers and the moon, okay? And you see here with the lunatic, because the word lunatic, it actually comes from the word lunar. It says here, Middle English from Old French lunatique, from late lunaticus, from Latin luna, moon, from the belief that the changes of the moon caused intermittent insanity. Let me ask you a question, family, because we're going to bring it to the ground level. Family, have you ever noticed in the horror movies, when the moon is full, that's when the werewolf comes to kill the people of the town? Or have you ever dealt with somebody that worked on night shift, maybe at a nursing or a mental health kind of place? And I've heard this before. They'll say on a full moon, I mean, I've read plenty of their testimonies where they would say, yeah, and a full moon, it's people act crazy in here, like they're more on guard. So it goes back to this world that we live in and what God that this world is following. But we got scripture on this too. Let's go to Matthew 17 and 15. Lord, or Aduan, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire and often to the water. So he's throwing himself down. Have you ever noticed on these movies with these zombies how they throw themselves down? Have you ever seen some of this footage of these people in church going crazy, falling down, throwing themselves down? That's the God of this world, man. I don't care who mad at me for. That's the God of this world. That's not scriptural. When they were doing that in the scripture, they brought him to Yasha and Yasha healed them, and they walked away plainly. Okay, let's get it. So that Baphomet picture, that famous one you see everywhere, came from a guy, Eliphas Levi. Yes, he's a J-Wish person. Created this image in 1854, family. Now, that goes back to Harry Rosenthal. Who did he say that their God was? And I'm just quoting what they said and what the word says. You can make your own, not interpretation, but you can make your own decision on what you want to believe and what you see is true and what isn't true. Okay? But this is out there. These are facts, man. These are facts. And you see that on the arm, on the right arm, it says solve with the 2 fingers up. And on the left arm, it says coag with the 2 fingers down. So solve, the etymology of that deals with like a dissolve, like a solvent, something that you use to dissolve something. And coag has to do with blood. Your blood coagulates after death. So it's basically saying the dissolution of blood is translated on this character Baphomet's arms. And I actually have a video. I apologize for the I know it's like not 4K, it's not 1080, it's real kind of blurry on some parts, but I have a video, the Baphomet contract, talking about the hip hop Baphomet contract. And I mean, that thing done did almost 1 million views, I know over 500,000. I haven't checked in a while, but on YouTube, and I reposted it on this channel, and I reposted it on Facebook as well. And you got the stars themselves, all of them saying the same thing, whether they're from the East Coast, whether they're from the West Coast, from the South, they're all saying the same thing. I'm not going to go into detail because I would like you to watch that, and I want to stay focused on what I have here. But that video is out there. Please go check it out. I think it's like 30 minutes, man. It's a good clip. So boom, check this out. We're going to get into the industry symbolism, and not just the industry of entertainment, but all industry. All industry deals with paying homage to the evil one. And we're going to deal with Baphomet, okay? Which is just another pseudonym or another name for Satan. So you see here Lady Gaga, right? And it's funny, the word Gaga actually means confused and crazy. And she called herself the fame monster. I mean, her interviews, this lady is satanic to the core. No question about it. Because right here in this pic, you see she has the 2 fingers up, right? Just like the Baphomet statue. And the other hand pointing down, and the doves are flying from upper right to the lower left. And all my believers, y'all know what the dove represents. The dove represents the spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit. And you see she has it flying down. And for all of you enablers and people that want to try to make excuses.
And what it has done to pop culture is just like abysmal. And yes, people saw love, and guess what? That's what we wanted you to see.
Yes.
I mean, this is a love song. Equipment so that I could record.
You record on the bus? And
Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I swear to Lucifer, I swear to Lucifer, I swear to Lucifer.
People that want to try to make excuses. It's not about the Holy Spirit coming down and from heaven. No, that's not what this is. This is a blasphemous symbolism of a picture. It's a blasphemy. Okay. Boom. Next pick, your girl here, Beyonce with the Baphomet ring. I know she just dropped the album, and I find it funny. I always thought it was funny. Y'all know I do music. Got some new music coming real soon. I'm just waiting on a couple verses from some of my brothers. I will be getting at y'all later, and a couple mixes I need to finish. But yeah, I got 2 projects back to back. Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all stay tuned. Your boy has been working. Trust me. But yeah, back to this Beyonce thing. I know like 8 industry artists drop their album at the same time. And it happens every year, a couple years or so. They'll all drop their albums at the same time. You know what I'm saying? What else? What are they distracting us from? Because, people want to analyze and look into there's articles about it. And, oh, she said this, he said that. And, this caused controversy. It's always something they cause controversy, and article here, article there, clickbait. Versus 8 other artists, I don't know. That's just always been weird for me. But it's been plenty studies and things where they showing how the billboards are manipulated. I think country music one year at the Country CMT Awards, they came out and they were like basically, I forgot who it was. I can't remember because I don't listen to country like that. But they basically outed the industry. I don't know if it was the Dixie Chicks or whoever, but yeah, how they pay for views. They companies, these record labels will pay for their artists to move up in the charts. I mean, I remember it was a time when somebody went platinum and everybody knew who they were. Somebody was big and made a hit and everybody knew who they were. Find out artists are going platinum and I haven't heard 2 songs from them, but they're double platinum. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But speaking of Beyonce, boom, you see how she defames the Bible here, and this is the thing, and this is just a small. I could show more and more with this, with her falling out in the Satanic Star when she performed at the Super Bowl, more and more things that she said. But just look at this. I mean, she's talking about using the words of the Most High as a minstrel paper. And what's crazy is she started singing in the church in Houston. But this is what Satan does. Satan takes what was meant for the Most High and brings it to himself. Y'all gonna get this work. Let's look at Michael Jackson here in the same Baphomet pose. Okay, we're gonna break down more of what that pose means as we go forward. Let's go to this next one. You see, like, because people like to fight when it comes to like these big stars, especially like Michael and Tupac and Biggie and such. People like to fight for them. You know, and I'm gonna say right now, I probably said this in the beginning, I don't knock anybody's talent, man. If you could sing, you could sing. If you could rap, you could rap. If you could produce, you could produce. If you could dance, you could dance. I can't take that away from you, and I ain't no hater. However, what way you do it or how you promote it is a whole different thing. Like I don't know, if I'm good at singing, right? Like I mean like R&B, but all my songs are sex crazed and I'm out here doing the R. Kelly thing and locking women up and doing all that. At that point, I'm using my talents for evil. Doesn't change that there isn't a talent, but what am I using it for? Because Michael Jackson, I mean, without equivocation, probably the most influential person in the industry, period. But you see here what he says, dancing on the floor and around, what y'all think he's talking about. You dig what I'm saying, Israel? Okay, these people have songs and lyrics, and just all you got to do, if you think look at these people's lyrics. Because I'm an artist for real. I'm not just a rapper or producer. I'm an artist all the way around. And I can tell you, your words mean something, man. Even the scriptures, your word, you will be judged on your words. These people talking about dancing with the devil and all this and selling their soul to the devil. I'm talking about this is what they're saying. All these stars. So you see here, Drake also in the Baphomet pose, holding up the devil horns. And remember when Drake was doing a 6 God and all that, and every track 6 God, and everybody was going crazy like that. That was so dope. I knew what that was. Look at this shirt with the prayer hands. That's who they praying to and dealing with, man. It's pretty obvious, man. They pretty much tell you. You see here Little Nas X with the blood in the shoe of the Nikes, right? You know, Nike's also a goddess. Just to go further, you see, this is a video scene that he had. And I mean, what more could you see? Like, where they can show you that this is what they're dealing with, man. And right here, Rihanna, same thing. Very talented, pretty young lady. But look, man. And like I said, just speaking on the industry of the entertainment, but look here. George Washington. 2 fingers up, 1 arm down. Even in the Matrix, y'all. Even in movies. So this doesn't stop. This continues and goes on and on and on. But let's go back to the ancient. We can go into the religious symbolism aspect of it. Because that pose with the one right arm up and left arm down, it represents the fallen one, okay? It represents the fallen one. I remember a brother had exposed. Shout out to that brother. That's what the Nene dance was, pretty much a dance that was doing it as above, so below symbolism. So you see here, you got the false Jesus, which that's not his name, but you got him here, the European Roman Christ, 2 fingers up, another one, 2 fingers up, okay? And that's what the symbol that 2 fingers represents, okay? You see here another biblical figure, 2 fingers, right? And they were saying when the Pope blesses people, quote unquote, bless, of course, right? When he blesses people, that's the symbol that's the hand gesture that he uses. He uses the 2 finger pose, right? And we know it's something wicked. Oh, okay, no, man. I was reading all these sites. No, man, the 2 fingers represents, the divine and Christ, and the 3 fingers represent the Holy Spirit and God and this and that. And I mean, they just had a whole bunch of stuff that they were saying. And I want to say this: a hand sign isn't necessarily wicked. Like at work, I have to back up trucks or help trucks back up, and I'll wave my hand toward myself to make sure that they're backing up, and I'll put my hand up like a high five in the air for them to stop. You might point to something, or you might tell somebody come here and do the come here, with the index. That's not wicked, because I know somebody's gonna say, "Oh man, so you're saying every time somebody does something with their fingers is wicked?" No, but this is. And it didn't start with the Christian church, man, or the Catholic Church. They just adopted this stuff. Many of them ignorantly, but that's what this video is for, to expose all of that. So you see here, the Buddha statue had it. The Buddha statue, which was way before Christ. The Hindu statue has it, family, with the 2 fingers. You dig what I'm saying? This is exposing the mystery religion, y'all. Let's go back to the Pope, right? Which Pope actually means father. Christ says you have one Father which is in heaven. Not talking about your earthly dad, but your Father in heaven is your father. Pope comes from the Spanish papi. Where do you think you get the term pops from? So you see the Pope, you got Hatshepsut, and you got Thutmose I. Now, you see the Pope with the 2 finger symbolism on the statue. What I want you to focus on, though, is the hat, y'all. You notice they're all wearing the same hat? This is the mystery religion. That's why it's so dangerous to follow religion, man. This man-made religion that the word constantly speaks against. This is the tradition of men Yahshua was talking about. And you notice on Thutmose I, he has the serpent on his crown. Did y'all know that the Jewish people called themselves, when they were identifying themselves as Romans, they called themselves the serpent people when they were in the land of Khazaria, the Khazars, before they came back into the Holy Land in 1948. They dealt with serpent people. What did the serpent represent in the Bible, family? Let's keep it moving. Staying in Egypt, though. Okay, exposing this mystery religion, these details that we see and look and overlook. This amulet depicts 2 stylized human fingers that are about life size. 2 finger amulets were used exclusively for the dead. We serve a God of the living, and were often found on the lower left torso. This is the area of the incision that was made during the mummification process in order to remove the internal organs. These amulets were meant to magically heal the wound. Just like it said on that pic I showed you with the Eliphaz Levi, that they believed that symbolism of Baphomet with the 2 fingers was about magic, a healing magic. This is what those shamans and all that over in Africa, this is that false healing that witches do, where they'll cast a spell and heal somebody's knee, and then their elbow hurt, and then they heal their elbow, then their stomach hurt, and they'll heal their stomach just to keep you coming back. That's what the medical industry does. I gotta watch myself talking about that though, because you know how I already got a strike. That's why y'all ain't heard from me. But we gonna keep it moving. But yeah, they give you a pill for this and it hurt over here now. Give you a pill for that, now you got diarrhea. You gotta take a pill for your pill for your pill. But yeah, I'm gonna have all these links in the description box. But yeah, healing magic. And you see the picture here. Yeah, gang banging. Yeah, because again, every time you make a hand signal, it doesn't mean that it's wicked, but this that I'm talking about is, man. It says Proverbs 6:13 and 14. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he devises mischief continually, he soweth discord. Now, I'm not talking about what the gangs were originally made to be, which I have went over in my gang video in connection to Freemasonry. I'm not talking about what they originally were, but what they are today. Do they not deal with mischief and discord? You get locked up, you're part of a gang, they take pictures of your tattoos, you go back home, you get off on parole or whatever, your gang does something, they bringing you in too. They pull you over, pull up that what you call it, ID on you, see that you are a member, they can search you. You might be riding with somebody, ain't got nothing to do with it. They searching everybody because that's what was infiltrated. Well, these gangs were infiltrated and led astray. You dig what I'm saying? Infiltrated and led astray, drawing these symbols on these walls. Do y'all know that these symbols are highly satanic, y'all? These symbols come from Freemasonry and demon worship. I'm gonna show y'all. Let's get to it. The six-pointed star. Okay. Let me get to this one. You see, it's in all these religions. Y'all think that this is a coincidence? Because that 6-point star, okay, Dub, well, what are you saying? That 6-pointed star represents the as above, so below. That's what it represents. That's why they got the right arm up and the left arm down. That's what that star represents. Do you dig what I'm saying, Israel? Then we get back into it. There's a movie, okay? There's a movie that actually speaks on this, and I'm gonna show a quick clip. You know, I'm not gonna show a clip of the movie because I mean it's brand new, just came on Netflix and it's very popular, so they will flag me for that. I'm trying to stay on YouTube's good side as much as it is possible, which you know that time will come to an end, I'm sure. But yeah, there's a movie called Incantation. Okay, and this is some stuff I posted on years ago or time ago, and they kept showing this symbol in the movie. And some people may think that these symbols are just symbols, they don't mean nothing, it is what it is. No, family. I say this out of love, you're wrong. These symbols are actually occult symbols. I'm going to show you a little something. Check this out, family. It says, as above, so below, occult phrase and origin. Do you see this? Occult phrase and origin. It's occultic. And just to give my believers some more insight on it, it's more of Satan's twisting of the word. When Satan says as above, so below, it's actually twisting of the word when the Most High says, as it is in heaven, so it shall be on earth. Because in heaven there's a law kept. We're gonna get into that too. In heaven there's a Sabbath kept. These holy days come from the heavens. This is also in the book of Jubilees, and even in the word. When he gave these days to Moses, where was he at when he gave these days to Moses? When he said y'all should do this and do that. When the death angels came, Passover. So these holy days came from the heavens. These holidays came from the fallen one. The fallen one was trying to bring lawlessness in heaven. So since he couldn't bring it in heaven, though he tried, he's going to bring it to earth. That's why it says, woe to the earth and its inhabitants, because the devil has came to you with much wrath in a short time. Look at these symbolisms. Doesn't it look just like that symbol I showed you in that incantation Korean movie? These are real. You can do your research on this, and it's really wild because they actually made a few movies about it. There's another one from Spain called Veronica, and it was a woman whose house was possessed by one of these spirits, and this symbol kept appearing on the wall, I believe. And you see these symbols on clothes and stuff, man. These symbols are on the dollar bill. It goes deep, man. It's not just shapes and these are symbols of the fallen ones and dealing with demons. People that are really into the occult, I'm talking about really into it, past the horoscopes, they know about this stuff. This stuff isn't like, oh, okay, whatever, dub. No, this is real, y'all. They put this stuff on clothes and on jewelry for a reason, man. Get you to channel those spirits. But it's of Hermetic origin. I'm not going to read all of this. I got this link in the description. But it says the Hermetic origin, the phrase comes from a Hermetic text known as the Emerald Tablet. They're almost 2,000 years old and have been incredibly influential in occult, philosophical and religious views of the world throughout that period. So I'm not going to again read all this, but it comes from the Emerald Tablet, But yeah, and it says that which is above is that which is below is as that which is above. So Satan tried to bring lawlessness in heaven and couldn't succeed, but he succeeded in bringing it into the earth. So he's basically, oh, I'm gonna cause drama here, I'm gonna cause drama there. But see, the holy angels kicked him out of heaven. I'm wondering, you gonna kick him out of your life, dealing with all these details that we're not supposed to look into. We're just supposed to love one another and hug and kiss and kumbaya. No. There's a right and wrong, which we're gonna be judged by. So microcosm and macrocosm. So that's the whole multiple realms, different universes. All this stuff is like over 2,000 years old. Y'all see, is nothing new under the sun. But this belief is behind high magic. It's all magic. You know, we already went over Eliphaz, Levi, Baphomet. You see, they take the names of our forefathers, right? The Levi tribe was the priest tribe. That's the tribe Moses was from. They steal your name and steal your land. I keep going over that, man. The hexagram, again, these Israelites walking around with the hexagram. It's actually sexagram as well. It's part of the sex magic. You dig? They call it the what? The symbol of Solomon. Y'all see this? For y'all brews rocking them 6-pointed stars? Not in scripture. Look, it's connected to the Ouroboros. That's the snake eating itself. Yeah. So universe as reflection of God. How many times you watch these shows? Oh, universe, why? Or when the universe gives you this, people talking when the universe, but not the one that runs the universe. They'll give props to the universe, but not the one that runs it. Like I'm a praise the house, but not the one that built it. Oh yeah, in alchemy. Okay, and this whole thing, you know, dealing with potions and all that, which, you know, it was more of a spiritual thing than an actual thing. But you get the point, family. All this stuff is occult, man. And this is seeped into religion, into our regular world as something that's normal. So, you know, it's just something to think about when you're watching TV. Are you watching any of these things? Are you seeing these symbols on churches and whatnot, and synagogues and t-shirts and whatnot? It's here to make you believe that all this stuff is normal, and it's anything but. But with that being said, you know, we're going to get into section 2. This gets into the 12-part series. But yeah, we're going to keep it moving. And in the end, I'm going to put them all together so, you know, you can have one place where you can see them all. Okay? But with that being said, shalom and peace, Israel. One love.